What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It is Friday, June 12th. TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Friday, June 12th. It's about 2 p.m. I'm a little late. Busy all week. And I've realized that late is better than never. Sorry to everybody. I apologize. Just a lot of work in this past week. So coming at you with the podcast this late in the game. But you know what? It's Friday. It's beautiful out. Who cares? Who cares? The world's on fire. Who cares? It's still Friday. It's still beautiful out. Let's leave it alone. And let's enjoy the show. Right? Let's just enjoy the show. So, remember how I was talking about getting a mountain bike and biking and everything like that? So I ended up renting out bikes and stuff like that to go riding every now and then. But I went to the bike shop about, maybe a month ago now, and I guess when I went to the bike shop, they said that they were sold out. Apparently, everyone and their mother decided to stop being obese and stop being lazy, and during this pandemic, they all decided to do something active, which that's great, good for everyone, awesome for America, everyone in my area, awesome. I am proud of the fact that you guys all decided to get up off your lazy asses, get bikes, and go for quote unquote bike rides. But your boy here doesn't have a bike. Couldn't get a bike. Wasn't spending no $1,500 on a bike. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot of money to spend on a bike. I don't got no $1,500. $1,500 is too much. Why are bikes even that expensive? It's a freaking bicycle. Why is a bicycle $1,500? Someone please explain to me. What is this, the mother of mothers of all bikes? It's ridiculous. Anyways, so they were sold out. So I said, well, when are you guys thinking about getting in your next shipment of bikes? Oh, maybe around July, the guy said. Okay, fair enough. And this, like I said, this had to have been in May, sometime in early May. So he said July. I said, all right, have a nice day. And then he said, well, sometimes we get bikes in from off the shipment depending on what kind of bike you're looking for. So I told him what I was looking for, so he measured me up. He aligned me a bike, and then he said, okay, well, usually we'll probably get something in about a couple weeks, right? So I said, oh, so what happened? I thought you get your bike shipments in July. So this guy said, yeah, but sometimes, like I said, sometimes we get shipments in blah, 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 whatever the hell he said, right? So I said, okay, so I guess I'll come back in July, right? Whatever. He said, well, I could take your name down and your number, and I could give you a text when we get bikes in. So I thought about it. I said, well, what's the difference? If I gotta wait until July, I might as well just wait until July. And he said, well, because we get stuff in earlier, we could just send you a text, right? So then I said, okay, that sounds good. So yeah, take my information down and then call me when you get a shipment in, right? So this guy goes inside, gets his little clipboard, whatever you want to call it, with a list of names, right? So I'm looking at the paper and I see all these people. There was at least about 25 to 30 names on that list. I said to him, is this everyone looking for this specific bike or just any bike? And he said, well, any bike. So I said, well, are you telling all these people that bikes can be coming in when they're really not coming in? And he said, He said, well, no, I mean, like I said, it's possible they might come in, so I just got to call and let the people know. So I said, all right. So I said, screw it. So here's my name. Here's my number. I was like the 30th first person or the 26th first person on the list, depending on how many people were actually on that list. So now you fast forward at least a month. It's definitely been a month for sure now. Fast forward a month, nothing. Nothing. No text, no call, nothing. Absolutely nada. So, did I get played? Did I get played? It's possible. Oh, it's possible that I did get played. 100%. It really is possible. And that's the frustrating part about it, because all I was trying to do was just get a mountain bike so I could go bike riding. You know what I mean? Like, that was it. That's all I wanted to do. Nothing else. I wanted to enjoy the pandemic in terms of bike riding. You know what I mean? And I wanted to go climb up mountains and trails and all this other kind of cool stuff. And nothing. So now I'm probably going to have to wait until July. And then I'll probably go out there, go back to the bike shop and be like, hey, do you have any of these bikes? You know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. The chronicles of the mountain bike. It's going to be very interesting. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm a little disappointed. I'm a little disappointed about this whole thing. You know? Very, very frustrating. But hey, you know, it is what it is, right? So, whatever. Anyways, that's my story. That's my my mountain bike story. Nothing too crazy, but yeah. So what else we got? World's still on fire. Protests are still going around. Things are happening. A lot of crazy stuff's happening. Pretty sure in Seattle, Antifa took over a portion of the city. And no one's doing a damn thing about it. So there's that. I think Roger Goodell finally said sorry to Colin Kaepernick after 4 years. We all know what that's all about, if you're real. What else? Yeah, you know, just protests still going around. People still getting hurt. Cops still getting killed or shot or stabbed or whatever the case may be. Yes, you heard me right. Cops are still getting shot, stabbed, killed. But the so-called cause of those people are nothing happened. But hey, I still understand. I still get it. So, yeah. World's still on fire. In New York, we got restaurants opened up. Finally. Restaurants are opening up. Outside, I should say. I see a lot of these restaurants that have these outdoor patios, or they're using their parking lot and they're just putting in tents and then tables under the tents. Man, what a pain in the ass that has to be. Could you imagine being a waiter or waitress and having to go back and forth from the outside in the parking lot to inside, and on top of that, wearing a mask? That's ridiculous. That is absolutely freaking ridiculous. That is so much. Who the heck would want to do that? Why would I want to walk an extra mile? Screw that. Oh, yeah, can I get this? Oh, yeah, can I get that? Oh, by the way, when you come back, can I get this? Like, and then they come back, and then it's like, oh, no, I got to get another thing. Hey, can I get this? You know what I mean? I wonder what kind of plan these restaurants have for that kind of stuff. There should be some type of like a relay team or something. You know, have people post it up midway through, and then just kind of just pass down whatever they need. That's kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, no, it's definitely cool that things are opening up for sure, 100%. But it's tough. I feel bad for the waiters and waitresses. I think it's rough, especially when it's hot out. They got their uniform or whatever you want to call it on. They got the mask on, and they got to go back and forth, especially on the hot days. They're going to be sweaty. It's tough. That's tough. That's a tough right now, man. That is tough. Kind of just feel bad. I mean, I get it. You restaurants want to make business. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So it makes sense. But yeah, man. So I have yet to go. I haven't gone yet to an outdoor restaurant. So do I plan on going? Yeah, eventually. But I don't know. Take my time. I'm not that eager to go out to dinner. Not that eager. Although I can't. It's going to be nice, though, to finally hear, hey, may I take your order? Or what do you like? Or what kind of appetizers you want? Or anything to drink, It's going to go back to somewhat of normalcy. But still, man. You got to walk from A to B. And A to B is really far away. Carrying that food from that far. A lot of obstacles you're dealing with, a lot of sometimes the entrance to the parking lot or inside the building is kind of rough, depending on cracks in the road or anything like that, or little bumps here and there, or whatever the case may be. God forbid you land on that wrong or whatever, and you tip over all the plates of food, crashing down right in the middle of the parking lot. Some of these restaurants are just not meant to be held outdoors. You know what I mean? Some of these restaurants are not meant to have all these different tables and tents or whatever held outdoors. Just from a distance standpoint. Either it's too far, doesn't make sense, the parking lot's too small, whatever the case may be. Some places can't do that. Other places obviously can, but some places can't. It's tough, but but again, it's good to be able to go back and eat out again, if you would. And I hear that everyone needs to wear masks. People need to wear masks. You gotta wear masks up until your food comes out. Man, fuck that. Fuck that. Honestly, fuck that shit. That's probably a big reason why I ain't really trying to go. Especially, at least in New York. I'm not sure how other places are, like Texas or Florida, with wearing masks if you go out to like restaurants. But definitely New York. No. You're not going to tell me what to do. You're not. You're just not. It's not happening. You know what I mean? That's why it's just best that I don't go. I make that conscious decision to not go. Because I'm not going to wear a mask and keep putting that shit on back and forth while I'm trying to drink or then eat. Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat and then take a minute and then just put my mask on because God forbid if I spread the coronavirus to anyone. Fucking stupid, man. See, that shit's stupid. That shit pisses me off. The stupidity in that crap is just it's just nonsense, man. It's fucking nonsense. And then what you got? And then you have your waitresses wearing freaking masks. And then people in the back who are cooking food wearing masks as they're freaking cook. It's probably freaking hot back there in the kitchen. You know what I mean? So I can't even imagine how those guys are feeling on a hot day in the kitchen with their mask on. Fuck that. If I was them, I would take that shit off too. Fuck that. You know what I mean? Get out of here. I'm trying to be comfortable. I'm not trying to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. I understand the stupid ass concept behind it. Still stupid. You know what I mean? Still dumb. I think it's bullshit. I get the concept. It's a stupid ass concept, but whatever, you know? Listen, if you're sick, if you think you're sick, stay the fuck home. Don't go out. Too bad. Too freaking bad. It's almost at the point where it's almost a privilege now to be outside. Hey, like it's a privilege to drive a car. It's a privilege to be outside. You know? Otherwise, if you can't, then stay the fuck inside. Stay home. You know what I mean? Stay home. It's stupid. It's stupid. But I got my hair cut yesterday. Yesterday, I believe. I got my haircut yesterday. That was an interesting experience. Only, I think, 1 or 2 people in at a time. At least at my barber, right? It's by appointment only. You have to stay out. You have to wait outside. And you have to wear your face mask when you're inside. It's freaking, and they gotta wear a face mask. You know? It's freaking weird, man. It's freaking weird. And like 2 weeks prior to that, I saw him at a party. We were just chilling. You know what I mean? Like my barber. So I was like, okay. Like, we were just out, no mask, no gloves, nothing, saying what's up. Now we're in masks. Hi, how are you? So stupid, man. It's so stupid. Freaking New York is... the state's going to shit, guys. New York is going to shit. If you're one of those people who wants to stay in New York, you're lost in the sauce. Unless you have to, of course. That's a different story. If you have to stay in New York, that's one thing. But... yeah. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. The only thing I'm waiting for is phase 3 or 4 when freaking movie theaters can be open again. Man, I cannot freaking wait to be inside of a movie theater eating popcorn and drinking on a Regal Cinemas Coke. Cannot wait. I am so freaking pumped, man. I've been dying to watch a movie. I'm a moviegoer, all right? That is probably one of my main hobbies. I'm a moviegoer. I'm telling you right now, I cannot wait. And no, I will not be wearing a mask inside the movie theater to watch a movie again while I'm trying to snack on some food. Just not happening. Not doing it. So that shit better be phase 4 or something where everything just opens up and everything goes back to normal and there's no need for masks. Or it's just an option at that point. But yeah, I cannot wait to go to the movie theaters. And all my movies I was looking forward to watching this summer, all the summer blockbusters, pushed back. Well, they got pushed back to like 2025 or fall time, pushed back. Stupid in my opinion. So dumb, makes no sense. Movies that should have came out while this pandemic was happening, they should have came out straight to VOD. In my opinion. You're not making the same amount of money you would have made if it was in the movie theater, but you're still going to make money. People have nothing better to do. They're going to buy. They're going to purchase the movie, especially if they're only paying $20 per family. Whatever. You know? Rough times. You know what I mean? No one ever saw that pandemic happening. So yeah, you got rough times. So you might as well just do what you gotta do. You can't be greedy during rough times, you know. But they did. There was movies that got pushed back. And then, especially movies with a universe or multiple sequels or other, again, movies in the universe, those movies got pushed back. You know, so now everything gets pushed back. For what? So you got to fuck up your whole entire time slot and your timetable just because of the pandemic It's stupid, man. That's fucking stupid. That makes no sense. In my opinion, makes no sense. Again, I get it. Don't care. I don't care that I get it. It still makes no sense. You know what I mean? Send those shits out to VOD. That's it. I get it. Again, you're going to lose out on money. You know what? At least you're going to make some money. Some money is better than no money. Because look how much time you got to put into all the movies that you are putting out in the future, right? That were slated for specific time frames. Now you got to push that shit back. That's more of a hassle than it would have been if you just kept everything the way it should have been. You know? It's stupid, man. It's stupid. But now we got to wait until, like I said, 2025 to watch these movies. Of course, I'm exaggerating, but fuck it. You get my point. You get my point. And then whatever sequels or whatever movie that was in the universe that would have been coming out maybe 2 months after that, because the first one got pushed back, now that movie's getting pushed back. And of course, they can't push it back to like a couple months. I got to push it back almost a fucking full year. You know what I mean? It's stupid, man. I don't get it. It makes no sense. It's stupid. It's freaking stupid. You know? Yeah, harsh times calls for desperate measures. Your desperate measure, just send out the movies to VOD. Call it a day. Like I said, you're not making the same amount of money you would have made if the movie came out in theaters, but you know what? You still would have made money regardless. Because everyone would have watched certain movies, you know, depending on whatever that movie was that was coming out during the summer blockbuster months prior during this whole pandemic. People would have watched it 100%. I can guarantee it. If I was going to buy them, I guarantee you other people were going to buy them. You know? But anyway, so now I got to wait for that, you know. I think Phase 4 is July 6th, I believe. Until, because of the protests and everything like that, there's a new spike in COVID out of nowhere, and then they shut down everything again. I could certainly see that happening. I could definitely see that happening for sure. Oh yeah, there's 150,000 new cases of COVID. All right, going back through the pandemic again, we're shutting down. I'm telling you, July 6th, Phase 4 opens. All right, yep. July 7th, all right, we're going back into a pandemic because of the 150,000 new cases that we just discovered. I could definitely see that happening. Which is funny. That's funny. But what are you going to do? But yeah, movie theater, cannot wait. That's my thing. That is my thing. I cannot wait. My ass will be in the movie theater the first day that it's allowed to be in. Watching whatever. I don't even care what's on. I mean, obviously, if it's a new movie, yeah. I mean, if it's some stupid-ass movie, but I still don't even care. My ass will be in the movie theater watching a movie. So, this past weekend, we had, and by this past weekend, I mean June 6th. Like I said, a little late on the episode, but late's better than never. We had UFC fights, UFC 250. These turned out to be a solid night of fights. Looking at the card prior to June 6th, I was kind of like, you know, especially after the previous fight cards that the UFC's put out, and then especially after UFC 249, the idea of UFC 250 just didn't look promising. And then we get closer and closer, and all of a sudden, all these names start popping up. Yep, so-and-so is fighting at UFC 250. So-and-so is fighting at UFC 250. And all of a sudden, now you got a fucking hell of a card. A hell of a fight card. You know? A hell of a fight card. So in the last episode, I predicted a lot of these fights. Because that's what I normally do. I normally just predict the fights prior to the event happening and then recap afterward. So starting from the bottom in the bantamweight division, you had Eddie Wineland, UFC vet, versus rising top prospect Sugar Sean O'Malley. In the welterweight division, you had Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin. Then in the bantamweight division, you had number one Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. Then you had the co-main event bantamweight matchup between Rafael Sancho and Cody Garbrandt. And then you had in the women's featherweight division for the featherweight title, Amanda Nunes versus Felicia Spencer. So I had predicted Sugar Sean O'Malley winning. I predicted Neil Magny winning. I predicted Aljamain Sterling winning. I predicted Cody Garbrandt winning, and lastly I predicted Amanda Nunes winning. I went 5 for 5, guys. 5 for 5 in my predictions with these fights. 5 for 5. I batted 1,000. So I'm gonna break down these fights in depth a little bit, at least as much as I can. So starting first in the bantamweight division, Eddie Wineland versus Sugar Sean O'Malley. So real quick, Sean O'Malley, there's a show called the Tuesday Night Contenders, Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. It's obviously on Tuesday nights on Fight Pass. So 3 years ago, Sean O'Malley made his debut at the Contender Series, and I watch the Contender Series just to see prospects who come in, who might get contracts, and just to kind of feel them out and see who might become a big star. When I saw Sean O'Malley, I knew right then 3 years ago that this guy was going to be a big shot one day. So you have 4 fights later, you have one decision victory and 3 knockouts. The kid's the real deal. He's the man. Eddie Wineland was his first true test, if you will, in terms of competition. I could definitely guarantee you that he'll definitely fight someone within the top 15, if not top 10 next. Sean O'Malley will. Especially with the bantamweight division the way it is now, you have a vacant title and things like that. So you definitely have the bantamweight division that's starting to stir up for sure. So Sean O'Malley wins in the first round. 1 minute and 54 seconds is a fight via knockout. Spectacular knockout. And then he does the walk-off, right? Knocks the guy out, does the walk-off. Excellent fight. The way that he came in how he won with the knockout. He feinted the freaking uppercut, man. He feinted the uppercut, came in with the hook straight. Just completely, knew exactly what he was doing. He knew exactly what he was doing. Feinted with the uppercut, knocked him out. That was a great fight. Knockout of the night up until this point, right? Knockout of the night up until this point. So Sean O'Malley wins via knockout. Then you got in the second matchup of the night, you have in the welterweight division, Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin. Neil Magny came back in his last fight, won superb fashion decision. Comes in this fight, same thing. Pretty much does what he's supposed to do, controls the fight. Does a great job of handling business, and then comes out with a decision victory. And then in the third fight, so this fight was an exciting fight. Aljamain Sterling versus Corey Sandhagen. Both guys are great fighters. I believe Aljamain Sterling is the number one bantamweight in the rankings. So he's definitely a top contender for sure. And my God, this guy was superb, coming in with a first round submission with 1 minute and 28 seconds. Excellent fight. Aljamain Sterling is definitely a beast. He's definitely going to be your next champion, in my opinion. And I think Aljamain Sterling's had a terrific performance. He came out, did exactly what he needed to do, got the fight to the ground, came out victorious with the submission. Like I said, he's the number one contender. He's number one in the rankings in the bantamweight division, and I believe that at UFC 251 there's going to be a championship bout between Jose Aldo and I believe Yaz, I forget the guy's name. But anyways, I'll look it up. So, obviously, the winner of that fight, I think Aljamain Sterling is going to fight next. So, we'll see what happens with that. I definitely think he's going to get the next title shot for sure. And yeah, like I said, came out with a terrific performance, did his thing. And then the next thing you had another. This fight card was full of bantamweight matchups, and it really kind of shows the power of that division. You have Cody Garbrandt and Rafael Sancho. And the big thing about, and this was the co-main event, and the thing about Cody Garbrandt, he's top 10 in the rankings. So is Rafael Sancho. Cody Garbrandt's on a 3-fight losing streak, right? He's on a 3-fight losing streak. He got knocked out 3 times. And then basically he took about a year, 2 years off, I would say. And kind of reinvented himself, Still trains at Team Alpha Male, but he's also going out elsewhere to train. And I mean, he like I said, he just reinvented himself. He kind of took a step back and found that niche again that he was saying. And I remember saying in the predictions podcast that if we got the same Cody Garbrandt that fought TJ Dillashaw twice, that he was not going to win. That he was going to go into this fight and then he was going to get knocked out. For whatever reason, Cody Garbrandt then at that time would get into these brawls, right? It was basically stand and bang and that's it. No technical fighting. There was no technique to it, especially with him as a boxer. I mean, you would think that he would have technique or whatever, but nah. He would just go to war with you. You wanted to stand and bang, he would stand and bang. Not a very high fight IQ at the time. So which costed him, it costed him a lot of things, it costed him 2 title matches, and then dropped him down in the rankings and costed him basically to reevaluate himself completely, top to bottom, so mentally, physically. So now with this year and a half, 2-year time frame of him being out of fighting, he reinvents himself. He found his love for the sport again. And holy shit, man, a complete different fighter this time. A complete different fighter. Man, he had control of the first round completely. Came out, technical fighting, hitting his spots, throwing the jab, throwing combos, hitting the low leg kicks, busting up Sancho's legs. It was like he was a newfound fighter, completely different, man. It was spectacular to watch. It really was. It was really spectacular to watch, 100%. It was really great. You really kind of saw what Cody Garbrandt can do when Cody Garbrandt is a technical fighter with a high fight IQ. And when he can control himself, right? So up until this point, Sugar Sean O'Malley had knockout of the night, 100%, right? So then, Cody Garbrandt wins the first round, hands down. Controls the octagon, strikes, more significant strikes, more strikes, period. Busting up Sancho's legs. Second round, same thing. He's controlling the fight in the second round. He's keeping his distance, closing distance too, with his jab, with his kicks, lighting up the Sancho, right? And then the buzzer beater of all buzzer beaters, the hook heard around the world. Cody Garbrandt lowers. Again, mind you, when you're watching this, you might think it was a wild shot, but Cody Garbrandt knew exactly what he was doing. You see it in his eyes as he's doing it. Bends over to this on his stomach, halfway down, loads up, right? Sancho threw a strike at this point, misses. Cody Garbrandt loads up his right hook. Boom! Connects with the right hand. Instant knockout, instant victory. Cody Garbrandt at the buzzer beater, man, knocks out Rafael Sancho in spectacular fashion. Like I said, the knockout heard around the world. It was fantastic, man. Fantastic. Cody Garbrandt is back. He is a force to be reckoned with. If he continues to fight like how he fought against Rafael Sancho, he is a force to be reckoned with. Okay? 120%. He's fighting like that. That's it. So congratulations to Cody Garbrandt. Spectacular victory. So now, Rock, who would you give the knockout of the night to? Sure, Sean O'Malley's knockout was spectacular. Same kind of thing. Same kind of thing as Cody Garbrandt's. You know, Cody Garbrandt had more of a dramatic push to it, you know, him loading up the way he did, bent over his stomach, comes out swinging with a huge right hook, connects on the chin, knocks out Rafael Sancho at the buzzer beater. And then you have Sean O'Malley, knocks out Eddie Wineland instantly, feints with the uppercut, throws the straight, boom, done, out cold, nighty-night. Eddie Wineland's out. And then Sean O'Malley does the walk-off, all right? So, both spectacular knockouts. I don't know, man. I think this is tough. To say which knockout was better is tough because I think both knockouts were absolutely amazing. And Sean O'Malley's my boy, you know what I mean? But I don't know. Both knockouts were great. Both knockouts were great. It's hard to say which one was better than the other, which one earned knockout of the night honors. But if I looking back at it and seeing it, I think it's I think Cody Garbrandt just had a spectacular knockout. But so did Sean O'Malley. I don't know. Both had great knockouts. I'm not going to answer that question. Not happening. You're not doing that to me. So then in the main event, you had Amanda Nunes and Felicia Spencer. All right, so I'm going to dive into this pretty good here. Amanda Nunes is and will always be forever the best women's UFC fighter in history. The best women's UFC fighter in history. She's a 2-weight champ. She's defended her belt twice now? 3 times now? Her wins are all in spectacular fashion. Even if it goes to a decision, she would fuck you up. Okay? Fuck you up. Her fights are just one-of-a-kind fights. 100%. There's no one like Amanda Nunes. Absolutely no one. No one like Amanda Nunes. Oh, but Rock, there's a person named Ronda Rousey. Fuck that. Fuck that. I am so sick of Ronda Rousey. Listen, I respect what she did. I respect the fact of the hype that she got rising up and paving the way for women in the UFC. I respect that. But if she had fought the Holly Holmes and the Amanda Nunes in the UFC in her time coming up from Pride or WEC or whatever the fuck she was in before UFC and then into the UFC, she would not have been what she was. Ronda Rousey's strike game is shot. She's not a good striker at all. Unless she lands a lucky punch like she did against Beth Corriere and knocked her out. Lucky. Again, she only had 3 knockouts, I think. 3 knockouts and what, 10 submissions? You know what I mean? Look back at all her fights. Look back at the Holly Holm fight and then the Amanda Nunes fight last. Look at all her fights coming up to that point. Okay? A lot of times, especially with the Miesha Tate fights, Miesha Tate wouldn't keep her distance. She would try to go in for takedowns. She would go in for clinches. And once you do that, Ronda Rousey is the best in clinching. She was a freaking bronze medalist in judo. You know what I mean? That's her thing. That's her thing. Now you're going into her game, you know? So a lot of these women would just go in for the takedown, or what Ronda Rousey would do is would strike her way after getting hit in the face a few times until she got on the inside, then clinch, and then judo throw or hip toss, and then go in for the armbar. Very vintage Ronda Rousey stuff, right? Nothing spectacular, really. I mean, it is. I'm kind of just hating, but it's still. Again, I'm not taking nothing away from her what she did, but all I'm saying is if she fought the Holly Holmes and the Amanda Nunes in the time, Ronda Rousey would not be Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? Again, is it the fighter's job? Liz Carmouche, Miesha Tate, Beth Corriere, all these fighters. Is it their job to correct the distance, knowing that she's loves to clinch and knowing that she loves going to the ground? Yeah, it is her job, but it's also the fight game that's a lot harder when those fighters aren't really good at striking either. You know what I mean? So when their game is really all about clinching and on the ground and they can't strike, right? Then you obviously got problems, you know. But like I said, Ronda Rousey was good. She was good on getting on the inside, so she avoided all the strikes, and then she would ground and pound and then get you into a armbar submission, right? Anyways, so other than that, she paved the way for the women's division in the UFC. Great job, spectacular, respect to her. But when it comes to fighting a legitimate striker, the Joanna Jędrzejczyks, the Valentina Shevchenkos, the Amanda Nunes's, the Chang Weili, those fighters, she doesn't stand a chance. She does not stand a chance. Her strike game was shot. It wasn't good at all, and everyone knew it. Everyone knew it. You know what I mean? And if you said that her strike game was good, or you said that she could beat up Floyd Mayweather, you're lost in the sauce, man. You're building up on that hype, on that bandwagon for nothing, just to sound cool or whatever the hell you're trying to sound like. Anyways, I have no idea why I'm going on this rant. So, Amanda Nunes, right? So, who, by the way, fucked up Ronda Rousey after a year of her layoff after she lost to Holly Holm and all this other shit. So Amanda Nunes comes out victorious, and like I said, she's the best pure striker in the game. And not to mention to you, she's also a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So she could fuck you up standing, she could fuck you up on the ground. However you want to take it, let her know. You know what I mean? That's why she's lethal. That's why she is the best UFC women's fighter in history and in the future. 100%. Amanda Nunes is the best. She is the best. She is the pound-for-pound fighter. Okay? Just hands down. You can't take that away from her. You cannot take that away from her. You can't. And you never will be able to. She has solidified herself as the best UFC fighter in the women's division in history, and most definitely probably into the future. So she fucked up Felicia Spencer for 5 straight rounds. Felicia Spencer got fucked up, guys. She got fucked up. She has heart, though. Felicia Spencer has heart. She kept in there. She kept fighting. She kept standing toe-to-toe with Amanda Nunes. And she was tough, but she took a lot of unnecessary damage, especially going into the late rounds when you know that you ain't winning this fight unless you knock out Amanda Nunes. But Amanda Nunes is too good to be knocked out. She's not stupid. She's a very complacent fighter. They should have just thrown in the towel. Call it a day. Let your fighter live another day. Again, it's one of those controversies. My opinion, I think that's what they should have done. But I also get why they did it. But congratulations to Felicia Spencer, man. She went 5 rounds with the best. She did her thing. She tried. Amanda Nunes was just too much for her. Amanda Nunes is just a pure striker, man. She's terrific. Her ground game, terrific. You know, when Felicia Spencer got her to the ground, Amanda Nunes completely just demolished her. She couldn't. She negated whatever Felicia was trying to do. It was a solid. It was a solid fight for Amanda Nunes. It was a great victory. Champ. Good job. And honestly, there's no one next for her. There really isn't. Maybe you could push a Valentina Shevchenko matchup, but I don't see anyone. Maybe Juliana Pena, sure, but honestly, no. Or Miss Shields. Miss Shields, if you decide to come into the MMA world, all you really need to know is takedown defense. That's all you got to do. Practice takedown defense for a year straight, 6 months straight, whatever. Just every day. Just takedown defense. That'd be an interesting fight to see. Miss Shields versus Amanda Nunes. I think her first name is Clarissa. That'd be an interesting fight. But other than that, Valentina Shevchenko, that's it. But even then, not really. Amanda Nunes is rocking at both divisions, man. She's rocking at both divisions. There ain't no stopping Amanda Nunes. The only way you're going to stop Amanda Nunes is if Amanda Nunes decides to stop and retire. That's it. That's how good she is. Amanda Nunes is that's how good she is. The best. Period. And if you say Ronda Rousey's better, you're shot. You know nothing about fighting. And you should just quit. Stop talking. Just stop. In any event, UFC Fight Island. Fight fucking Island, guys. Fight fucking Island. Okay? So, Fight Island is in Abu Dhabi. It's on the Yas Island. UFC 251 is taking place on July 12th or July 11th, I believe. July 11th, Saturday, July 11th. UFC 251 on Fight Island, guys. It's happening. It's happening. Fight Island is happening. I cannot wait. It's in Abu Dhabi. It's Yas Island, which apparently is a really, really cool looking island. OMG, the fight card is fucking stacked. You have Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns for the welterweight championship bout. You have Alexander Volkanovski versus Max Holloway for the featherweight title. You have for the vacated bantamweight title, you have Peter Yan versus Jose Aldo. Winner becomes bantamweight champ. And then you have Jessica Andrade versus Rose Namajunas. And then you have Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zandt. Holy shit, guys. fucking stacked fight card. Stacked fight card. Cannot wait. It's gonna be a great night of fights. I cannot wait to see what they do for UFC Fight Island. I'm thinking they're fighting literally on sand by the beach with like nothing overhead, maybe a little tent cover thing like a tarp or whatever, and make sure if it rains or whatever. But I'm really thinking like literally on the beach by the water. They're fighting. I cannot wait to see what they have in store. I'm super freaking excited, man. I am super freaking excited. I cannot wait. So UFC 251 Fight Island. Let's freaking go, guys. Let's freaking go. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm super excited, man. I'm super excited. I cannot wait. July 11th cannot be here soon enough. And then you got a stacked fight card. I mean, you got 3 title fights that night. 3 title fights. First time ever, I think, for title fights. That's exciting. That's really, really exciting. So, I'm pumped about that. You have... Oh, so here's the thing, too, by the way, for the welterweight title match. So, Gilbert Burns, for those of you who don't know, at the last fight night back in May, defeated number 1 welterweight Tyron Woodley. So, Jorge Masvidal should be the one to be fighting Kamaru Usman. That was the fight to make. That was the fight to be had. Money issues apparently caused that fight to not happen. I guess before the announcement of Fight Island and the main cards, UFC and Jorge Masvidal tried to come up with a deal to make that fight happen. It did not happen. So Gilbert Burns stepped in and now is fighting for the welterweight title. I think it's bullshit. I think Jorge Masvidal should have been there. I think they should have gave him money. That's my opinion. I think he's done more than enough, put in his time. He's respected. He's on that hype train, so I don't understand why they didn't, but I can see why he was pissed off about it. Also, UFC plans on having, after July 11th, 3 more fight nights at UFC Fight Island. July 15th, July 18th, and July 25th. Can't wait to see what those fight cards entail. That's going to be exciting. That's going to be really exciting. August 15th, you have UFC 252, Miocic versus Daniel Cormier 3. That bout was booked. That's going to be an exciting fight to end the trilogy, to see who is the best in the heavyweight division. So that's exciting. That's exciting to look forward to. And then in other news, you had Conor McGregor, who decided to retire again for like the 19th time. Who knows what he's trying to do? Who knows if it's serious? Who knows if it's something as a ploy? We'll see what happens. In my eyes, I think it's crazy. He says, cool, the game just doesn't excite me, and that's that. All this waiting around, there's nothing happening. I'm going through opponent options, and there's nothing really there at the minute. There's nothing that's exciting. I mean, that's fucking a load of bullshit. You fought Cowboy Cerrone at welterweight. Maybe you fight. You talk about money for Jorge Masvidal. Maybe you talk about a Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal fight. I guarantee you, ching, 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 UFC is gonna put the money in for that fight. So that's an exciting fight. You have Tony Ferguson as an option, Dustin Poirier as an option, Dan Hooker as an option, whatever. At lightweight. And then, obviously, the winner of the Justin Gaethje-Khabib fight. You know? Or you do a Justin Gaethje-Conor McGregor fight, and then whoever wins that fight goes on to win against Khabib. But no, it doesn't want to make sense because Justin Gaethje is the interim title champ. So yeah, no. But there's options for Conor McGregor. He just didn't want to fight for whatever XYZ reasons. Which is a kind of a huge blow, man. The UFC definitely needs a guy like Conor McGregor, especially in a time where they're not paying up on guys like John Jones and Jorge Masvidal who are asking for more money. So you don't want to obviously have people jump on those fighters jump on that same boat. That's for sure. You do not want that happening. In other news, boxing started. Boxing had a few fights. They had 2 events. Ryan Garcia, I think, fought last Saturday. Ryan Garcia is a top prospect. He's a rising star, someone definitely to look out for in the boxing world. And you got Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence Jr. You have a couple guys. And then apparently, not sure if it's true or not, you had Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua, who reached a 2-fight agreement for 2021. I think those are fights that are trying to be in the works. We'll see what happens. I'm not sure if it's if that was true. Last time I read, it was not something that was finalized completely. But I know Tyson Fury wants to give a third matchup to Deontay Wilder, and then after that fight, it's going to then be Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury are two Englishmen who are poised to duke it out in the boxing ring. Those 2 guys are definitely top guys in their sport, and that's obviously the fight that you have to make. Those fighters are legit. So that's that. And so Nate Diaz came out. So going back to the welterweight championship bout with Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz, Jorge Masvidal and Kamaru Usman. Nate Diaz posted on Twitter saying, quote, "This is what's wrong with people claiming they're fighters and setting for less because they know they're not worth shit. You should have fought the next guy in line, not the guy who would take less money because he's told to. That's why no one will remember you guys. This is a title fight," end quote. And you know what? He's right. It's bullshit. That should have been Jorge Masvidal's fight. That's a big fight. Again, everyone had him on the bandwagon, on the hype train. That's a fight that should have been made. I don't understand why the UFC wouldn't make that fight. Give the guy money. I mean, it's a big title fight. It's a big bout. You know what I mean? It's a big fight. I don't understand why they wouldn't freaking make that fight happen. I don't get it. I really don't. But UFC 251, guys, Fight Island, as he gets closer, I will be putting out my predictions for that fight. We'll see what happens, but be on the lookout for that. But yes, UFC 251, Fight Island, it is happening, guys. It is here, finally. We are just about less than a month away. Actually, about a month away from UFC Fight Island. Thank you guys again. Appreciate you guys listening. Follow me on Instagram at FISTICUFFS Podcast. Hop on YouTube. Like, comment, subscribe. FISTICUFFS Podcast. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you guys for your support. Everyone, take care. Be healthy. Stay safe. Have a great day. Take care, guys. Peace.